being regaled as the new hero in Mumbai. He's done a lot of work in the Juhu Municipal K Ward, and he's managed to clean our Juhu beach, which has been an ongoing struggle for the past 20 years. It's worked for the citizens of Juhu, and he says that I have done it in Juhu and I will replicate it in the entire country. I know I'm with him, and I'm sure everybody in this room is with him. They say for every right there is a wrong. And there is a gradual paradigm shift towards power being actually vested in the people of India. We now have the power. RTI has really brought power to all of us. Simplification of rules and posting those on the public domain has increased transparency. The biggest solution would actually be bringing corrupt to justice. This is working slowly, surely, but slowly. Our election commission has brought about sweeping reforms, and mobilizing changes of that magnitude in the world's largest democracy have surely not been easy. Of course, our friends in the media have also ensured that we never lose hope, because we have the power of the freedom of speech, which no money or muscle can curb. But all the reforms will amount to nothing if we, the educated people, do not go out and vote. We have to understand our own power. We have to move beyond being armchair intellectuals, and I think we've heard a lot of sentiments being echoed in the morning saying that, you know, the movement must not end just with this conclave or this seminar. We have to go out back home and vote. And I did express a desire in the morning. I did ask Mr. Lingo that, you know, if I wanted to contest elections, what is it that I should do? And he said, well, you just have to be brave and go ahead and contest them. Well, maybe, hopefully, if not this year, the next elections I will go ahead and contest them. Because I feel that there is hope and evidence that a poor, honest citizen will not only stand for elections, but also win them. And we will have leaders who echo Dwight Eisenhower's sentiments. You do not lead by hitting people over the head. That, my friends, is assault, not leadership. Thank you.
Also do is sitting down. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Anand Trivedi. I'm a technologist by training. And therefore, I'm going to get slightly technical on this one, rather than just do it by anecdotes.
Speak closer to the mic.
How's that? Better?
Yes.
Not very long ago, I was talking to one of the local politicians, and I was asking him why certain jobs in my locality are not getting done. And the person starts by saying that, look, if I spend 10,000 rupees, I expect to get at least one vote. Then the conversation gets further, and he says, look, all these people that you see crowding in my surgery, they're a bunch of fools. I promise them all sorts of things, and I don't have to deliver everything. What I do is I buy my vote, 500 rupees and half a bottle. And after 5 o'clock, I get the fuzzy votes. So I wasn't shocked. We've all suspected something like this is happening. But here is a politician, and I could name the guy, but you know, they are protected by parliamentary privileges, you and I are not, so I won't do that. This has confirmed the reality. So let us go further. Let us see what is this illegal money being used for. They use money to buy votes through inducements. After election, they'll buy winning candidates, cross-party, independents, and so on. They pay for the muscle, the expense, and some very dodgy expenses in elections, which are quite illegal. You know, massive holdings, feeding these cars who are coming to cause disruptions. Where does all this money come from? This is coming largely from developmental funds. We are familiar with MPLAD, but apart from that, there are lots of other huge developmental funds available. And once elected, you can skim off money from all of these things. Our netas are able to influence transfers and appointments, they take pride for that. They're able to influence project clearances, they take pride from that. And there are lots of other innovative methods, and you see much of all this is, a little bit is used for elections, but much of it is what we see in Swiss banks. One hears about $1.5 trillion sitting out there. This is your money and my money. We should have gone in for development work, and it's sitting out there. Now, what is the consequence of all this money going away? Lack of infrastructure, shortage of energy, 70,000 megawatts of energy shortage, lack of healthcare and education for the poor, law and order machinery and judicial delivery working for those who can afford to pay for it. And this money is the fodder for the black economy, which I don't know doubt will tell you more about. And we also talked about muscle. Muscle is increasingly used for capturing of booths. This is happening in the remote areas, not so much in the urban areas. Threatening voters with dire consequences if they don't vote in the preferred candidate. Truckloads of hooligans come in to disrupt your rallies. And what happens is the Aam Aadmi suffers the loss with virtually no compensation. There's been only one case recently where the Supreme Court has said that you caused this damage, so you're going to pay for it. I think in Maharashtra. Now the question really is, what are we going to do about it? That is the crux of the question. I think as citizens, concerned citizens, the first thing we have to realize, the country is in such a state because you and I, the white collar worker, the middle classes, have totally abandoned the process of franchise. And what that has done is allowed our votes to be misused by others. So the first thing we have to do is to go out and use our vote, and use it sensibly. And what I would say to the rural areas is don't be scared of the Bahubalis, as Vinod was saying. Just go out and vote. Vote these guys out. That is the only way to get rid of it. There is a certain change in the electoral process that we've been clamoring for a long time, which is none of the above. If that comes in, that will help us. But I think even now, there's a Rule 49.0, which says that you can go inside the booth, tick everything, that you utilize the vote, and just not do the last bit. The idea is to not allow your vote to be misused. That's important. And then the process doesn't stop there. When you go further beyond elections, whoever gets elected, you must use tools like RTI and monitor the performance of the elected leaders and hold them accountable. You see, governance doesn't take place like this. Now, you elected someone, now you expect him or her to deliver the goods. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that in the corporate world, it doesn't work like that. You have to keep at it. It is for your own benefit, to your governance. Unless you hold these people accountable, you're not going to get the delivery. Now, we also need some systemic changes. I mentioned that these our netas are able to influence all sorts of things. And I see no reason why a neta should be able to influence transfers of officers, influence appointments, such things. These should be out of the changes that we require is to take all these things out of the neta's purview. And I think that will help. So I should leave you with that. And the experts.
Thank you, Anand, for pointing us to what the problems are and also possibly some of the things that could be done. I request Pramod to come in.
I was born in Bihar and I've been associated with Nation Good Governance now for about 6 years. The interesting fact of the situation is that all this is recorded and available to you. I don't know how many of you have seen this document, which is available on the website of the Election Commission of India, which is proposals on electoral reforms. It was in July 2004 that Mr. Krishnamurthy wrote this document, and item 3 therein criminalization of politics. Now, this gives you a clear document on what the views of the election commissioner are. But nobody is taking this forward. Why hasn't anybody taken it forward? I don't understand. Because the point is that for you and me to conceive what to take forward and how to do it is a very, very difficult task. But here is something readily available. The second thing which is going around right now is this petition which is done by Association of Democratic Reforms. We have Mr. Jagdeep Chopra here with us, which says just sign that you do not want criminals in governance. But the number of people who signed this petition is only so far about 1,200. The petition has been going around now for about 6 weeks. And in these 6 weeks, let's say it has reached about 2-3 lakh people. But only 1,200 people have signed it. And when I ask people, why don't you sign it? They say, our name will come on the records of the government. Now, this is a very interesting thing because one day, when I was doing this RWA movement in Delhi, कि हम बिजली के ज़्यादा पैसे नहीं देंगे, I got a call from the police department. So I said, हाँ बताइए आप कौन बोल रहे हैं? So he said, मैं स्पेशल सेल से बोल रहा हूँ दरियागंज से और आपसे मिलना है. मैंने ज़रूर आइए, घर आ जाइए, 11 बजे आइए, बातचीत करते हैं. Anyway, we met. So I said, आपने मुझे क्यों बुलाया? इसे आपका नाम बहुत पेपर में आ रहा है कि आप ये एजिटेशन कर रहे हैं. तो हमें सरकार ने भेजा है पता करने कि आप ये क्यों कर रहे हैं. ऐसे मैं नहीं करता हूँ, ये हमारी संस्था कर रही है और ये इसलिए कर रही है. ये लीजिए कागज़, हमने अपना पैम्फलेट दिया कि हम इसलिए कर रहे हैं. मैंने कहा आप कहाँ के रहने वाले हैं? कहते हैं मैं भागलपुर का रहने वाला हूँ. मैंने कहा आपके बिजली के बिल ठीक आते हैं? इसे नहीं, मुझे भी ज़्यादा देने पड़ते हैं. तो ऐसे आप भी हमें ज्वाइन कर लीजिए. इसे बिल्कुल ठीक. एंड ही क्लोज द फाइल एंड ही सेड हमारा सेल नंबर ले लीजिए और जब भी आप एजिटेशन करें हमें बताएं. तो मेरा आपसे ये कहना है कि जब आप देखते हैं कि अरुण गौली को पुलिस ऑफिसर सलाम कर रहा है या पप्पू यादव को देखते हैं वो वोट देने के लिए बाहर आ रहा है या शाबुद्दीन सेल फोन से बात कर रहा है या जो 11 टेंटेड मिनिस्टर्स हैं हमारे सरकार में आज की तारीख में, उनके सब ऑफेंसेस की डिटेल्स अवेलेबल हैं. उसमें इंसिडेंटली रेणुका चौधरी का भी नाम है. और जो हैं बाकी के तो वो तो आपको पता ही है, लालू का तो नाम है ही और सबके हैं. तो इन सब को जो हम सलाम और दुआ और इनसे जाके हम मांगते हैं कि हमें गुड गवर्नेंस दिए, ये तो संभव नहीं है. ये तो हमें समझना चाहिए. तो संभव नहीं है तो एक मूवमेंट बननी चाहिए और सिंपल टास्क पे बननी चाहिए, एक्शन ओरिएंटेड होनी चाहिए कि हमें क्रिमिनल्स नहीं चाहिए. एक सज्जन ने आज सुबह कहा था कि 1000 लोग जाके 1 लाख लोग जाके पार्लियामेंट के बाहर बैठ जाएं कि हमें क्रिमिनल नहीं चाहिए, तो शायद कुछ असर पड़े. मुझे नहीं लगता असर पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हमारे डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह की सरकार ने एक पिटीशन दी है, एफिडेविट दी है हमारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कि अगर आप क्रिमिनल्स को हटा दोगे तो हमारी सरकार लुढ़क जाएगी. हम रूल करते हैं रेजर थिन मेजॉरिटी के साथ, तो ऐसा मत करें. अभी रिसेंटली हमने एक पिटीशन दी थी हमारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस को कि जो कन्विक्टेड नेताज हैं उनको आप निकाल दीजिए, उनको क्यों बैठने दे रहे हैं पार्लियामेंट में. तो उसके लिए इसलिए भेजी थी क्योंकि एक सज्जन है मिस्टर शुक्ला करके, फॉर्मर IAS ऑफिसर, वो लखनऊ में रहते हैं. उन्होंने एक पिटीशन डाली थी कि इनको हटा दो. तो हमारे CGI ने लिख दिया उसके अगेंस्ट कि नहीं इनको नहीं हटा सकते. ये आप तो शोर मचा रहे हो जब इलेक्शन आ रहे हैं.